bunch of issues that I keep running into. Hello and welcome back to the 6 hours of Road America, the 7th round of the 2022 EERC Endurance Championship. Qualifying has just finished, and hopefully we can get a brief look then at the session results before the grid forms up for the start of the race in about half an hour's time. But it was certainly very, very close at the top in the three classes. LMP1, LMP2, and GD3. I believe it is Jansen Bintz on pole for valet number 23 that so cruelly missed out last time out at Road Atlanta. Then it is the 360 of, I believe, Higuez Imontresa in the Orica in the 360 Motorsports number 60. Which, of course, we saw do very well at Interlagos before having to retire. And then in GD3, it is Mia Rose in the Hunter Birch simulation that's gotten onto pole position. So those are your three pole sitters. So that bodes very well indeed for the race. So we can get the individual classes up in their totality. No, we're looking at GD3. Okay, so in reverse order then. GD3, Mia Rose on pole from half a second over Wesley Booker. Half a second. Pribek Zolt will start third in GD3. Mary Valencia fourth. Tiva Kiss fifth. Mashiro Arasaka sixth. Chris Davis seventh. Thomas Yeager eighth. Joseph Toff ninth. Hallam Voice will start in the top 10. Then I believe it is Reynard Geneves, or Geneves Reynard for OSR, who will start 11th. Joe Gostistis will start 12th for Eden Games. Stan Gjorvad, 13th. Justin van der Smissen, 14th. Kevin Beaches, 15th. James Smaggersgale, 16th. And Blaine Crooks, for some reason, has been sent to the very back of the field, but I'm not quite sure what that's about. If not much happening on screen, I apologize because it is being very, very laggy for me at the moment. Hopefully I can show you LMP2 in a second. There we go. So it is Diaz de Montresa on pole by 2 tenths, just under 2 tenths from Loic Moynier, so very close between 360 and Iris 77. And the 77 really needs to get its own back in the title fight. Primavera, the championship leader, is third from Arda Erkan into points number 47. The 21, second in the points. They are fifth after finishing runner-up last time at Road Atlanta. Oliver Perukian starts sixth. Thomas Vash starts seventh in the Iris number 66. Felix Neuberger for Bottling starts eighth. Norbert Major will start ninth in front of Peter Schumann in the Finnevond. Okay, David Martin starts 11th. And then for reading game number 13, that is Matthias Kozowski for Boyd Transport number 40, Jessa Trinos in the VMS number 26, Ryan Mazumda for 14th, and Nick Conan rounding out the LMP2 field. So we're going to have to briefly restart the game then. So I hope that's not too distracting. But since there aren't too many LMP1 runners, I guess it'll be fairly quick to recount the field there. So it is, I believe, Jansen Bintz on pole for Valiant at 23, Zoltan Toff second for Mugen 22, Carl Lewis third for Team Rookie Monsters 73, and then I think it's Josh Hamilton followed by Ben Crooks of Seawolf, Francesco Concas for Alliant Motorsport 87. It's somewhat confusingly the same race number as the Iris GT3. Then it is Maurizio Riccardi, I believe, who rounds out in the 975 Bad Wolves car. So yeah, that's your LMP1, LMP2 and GT3 fields in reverse order. Sorry about that. I didn't quite mean to do it that way. While we're waiting, I should mention, of course, some news in the week leading up to the race. Of course, the Boyd Transport team run by Roy Ton, who is not here today due to the sad passing away of Roy's father. And of course, all our thoughts with Roy and the Boyd Transport team. Lovely group of guys. And as unbiased as I'm supposed to be as a commentator, I have to admit I'm kind of rooting for Boyd to get a decent result today, because I think it would certainly lift the spirits of the team, given what their founder and their manager and one of their lead drivers, in fact, who is in charge of all the setups, as we heard last time out, they could really use that kind of boost today. But as you saw, qualified down in 12th, so quite a bit of work to do, but certainly they nearly got a top 6 finish last time out in Road Atlanta, so all to play for, really. And certainly a difficult time for Roy and the Ton family as well. Boyd Transport also have got Dylan Platt on their books, of course, who you might have heard me commentating on Dylan Platt's race in FSR Academy at Le Mans earlier this season, where I believe he finished in the top. He finished 4th, which is a very impressive result for TR Motorsports. So great to see Dylan back in action. Here at the wheel of a LMP2 car, or indeed a GT3 or whatever it is that Dylan is driving today. I believe we'll see Dylan in action in the first stint, actually. One person we will see in action, of course, is Mia Rose for the Hunter Birch Simulation 485 on pole position. Just as we saw Liam Rance on pole for the 485 last time out at Road Atlanta, before Liam lost a wheel, I think, had to crawl back to pits. And then we ended up being saved by that red flag because everyone got disconnected in the first 2 hours or so. Pretty dramatic. Of course, with it being a 6-hour race, there'll be interesting strategies in the teams. With some will try and do the whole race with just 2 drivers, others might try 3 or 4 in there. See? Let's see if I can look at the YouTube chat and see what people are saying, if anything. Qualifying going on at the moment. Almost tempted to watch that while I'm waiting for the game to restart. Got anyone to hand over to?
Whisper test, please let me know that you can hear this.
Ironwood. So, Tom Dillon saying, we've had to move the stream down to 720p 30 FPS because the bitrate is down on the server PC. We can't figure out why. Load the bitrate and race for now, so hopefully it sorts itself out in time. There we go. Looks like we're just about to get back into the server, ladies and gents. Wish I had a little bit more to talk about, of course, but the championship standings come to mind. We've got 15 minutes to wait until the start of the race, of course. Doesn't look like I'm going to have any company, which is pretty sad. But there you go. What can you do? It's hard sell in the middle of summer. To get someone to commentate on sim racing, it's probably hard sell for you to watch it too. Nah, I shouldn't say that. Most people watching are just people waiting to have their turn to drive, I guess. Let's recap then. So,
Okay, so just a few things before we get going. Been asked about the pit exit line. If you are alone on track and there are no other cars, you will be allowed to cross the dotted pit exit line. If there are other cars on the track, stay to the right until the line ends and then merge back onto the track. So if there's cars coming, do not cross the dotted pit exit line. The next thing is, I know some people are having an issue with their game crashing when we move sessions. So when we move to the race, we will wait for those people to rejoin in the game. They can start from the pit lane and retake their position on the formation lap.
Go some clear, concise instructions then from Nick Homewood. I believe someone was trying to speak to me that you probably can't hear on stream. But if that person, if Tom is indeed trying to speak to me, feel free to. I've got the phone up to my ear now so I can hear you. No? Okay. I guess it wasn't important then. He's muted his mic on the thing, so it's probably... anyway. So I was going to go through the championship standings, wasn't I? Before I got distracted by all of that. A lot going on there. So of course, we're looking on stream at Garrison Bints. Number 23 are actually third in the standings. They were second for a long time, but with that retirement and having to get that settled for third place, having finished 90% distance in Road Atlanta. Mugen 22 leading on 123 points after winning, I believe, about 3 races. Rookie Monster 73 not won any races. They are second on 89 points, which is, of course, about, let's see, about 34, sorry, behind Mugen 22. Then is Valley 23 on 68 points. So, yeah, a long way down then in the title race. Or is it actually more than that? I can't remember if this is from the old standings where they forgot to put those points in from Petit Le Mans. Check. Yeah, certainly. Google in the middle of commentary, which is slightly distracting. Yeah, Valet number 23 got 87 points. Sorry, because as we see, big spin there actually for Jansen Bintz in the middle of his lap, just at the exit of the carousel sort of section. A traditional carousel there, doing a bit of a dance with the car, I guess. Then, so Valley 23 on 87 points, 2 behind Rookie Monsters, but quite a way now behind the 22. They had been catching them. I was hoping to get momentum back, having got on pole today. Of course, then in LMP2, the championship leaders are actually Valley, in the form of The 33, of course. Driven by Daniel Primavera in the first stint. On Mzumdit by mistake, I think, in the reading game car. But anyway, the Valley 33, which you are seeing on screen now, is leading by 105 points. They are on 105 points, sorry. With their closest rivals being Mugen 21 on 84 points. Mugen 21 won it, I believe, Silverstone, and there was somewhere else they won as well, but I can't remember where. Launchlife, it was they've taken a couple of wins this season, the 21, but it's the 33 that have taken, I believe, 2 or 3 wins. They're leading, of course, by about 21 points. R77 are only 2 behind Mugen 21. So, yeah, 23 points separating the top 3 in the LMP2 Championship, which is very close indeed. With Bottling Motorsport quite a way behind on 56 points. Then in GD3, it's Team Imperium number 16, who won last time out, leading on 101 points. From Team Iris 87 on 65 points. The 87 also crashed late on in Road Atlanta, while they're running second actually, so big blow for the 87. He hasn't actually done all that many races, so there's still a good chance for them to catch Team Imperium in their Aston Martin. Salat Racing 64 are third on 50 points despite having quit after winning the first 2 races. 3 of them, 444, are still 4th on 45 points. And in 5th, it's actually now reading game number 27 on 35 points. So yeah, all looking very, very interesting at least. I certainly think a long way to go though with these last 4 races. Especially with 6 hours left to run, of course. Anyone excited about the 6 hours of Road America? Can of yours use the hashtag shown on screen? There we go, 10 minutes to go, ladies and gents. Desperately. Last thing to do what I want it to do. Okay, so if anyone's written anything in chat interesting, nope, doesn't look like it. Yep, just the default messages. But anyway, as you said, less than 10 minutes to go until the race starts then. I've already run out of things to talk about. But hey, I'll do the best I can. Hopefully I'm not being drowned out by the sound of the cars, since we have to restart the game there. Imagine, especially at the start, it will be probably quite difficult to hear me. Anyway, warm-up continues then. Garage. Vince continues to lap quite quickly. We can get the driver graphic up. Oh, big crash there. That must have been Josh Hamilton just getting caught up in something or other. All good for Josh. To avoid that come the race. But Moynier.
Five minutes to race start.
Okay, 5-minute warning. The Road America course, one of the highest speed road courses in certainly in the United States. In terms of permanent road courses. Arasaka dips a wheel onto the grass there. They're in the touring car race exactly how which Mia Rose won both of them, so that puts her in a little bit of a advantage for this first stint, at least, that she's got some experience. Eric Kamadi, a co-driver as well, was in both of those races, finished in 4th and 6th. Certainly it's going to be difficult to know where to look, and there is Mia Rose. Back into the pit lane. Certainly exciting to see if Hundred Simulation can finish the race on this occasion at the second time of asking. Crooks for Seawolf Met Race. Not really seen too much of Ben Crooks in action. We've seen the Seawolf team do a couple of rounds, get sort of 4th and 5th, or run 4th and 5th. Pretty good in qualifying. Let's see if they can keep it up in the race, because they tend to fade quite quickly. The ones tends to be Mugen and Valet quite close to each other. Occasionally Iris if they can get the number 8 in play. But number 8 not participating today, of course. Certainly it will be fascinating to see if 23 can regain its ground, if Team Imperial number 16 are under threat after a slightly disappointing qualifying for Tibble Kiss. 87 can keep gaining ground on them or arrest the slide. There is the Boyd Transport number 40. That's the car that I think many of us are going to be cheering on today, as Gazowski dips a wheel onto the curb and just about saves it. Great to see Boyd Transport in action here. So Roy Ton will be watching with great interest to see if his team can get a shock result here. You never know. Have finished on the podium before with the 206. The ATR Falcons team are taking part here, with Kevin Veaches and James Smaggersgale near the back of the GD3 field. Any carnage at the start, we'll know where to look. Anyway, with 2 minutes left to go, it's final preparation time.
Okay, 1 minute to the race. If your game does crash and remove sessions, please rejoin as quickly as you are able to. We'll wait for a couple of minutes for anyone. If you take too long, we will start without you.
There's Stian Gorvad in the 119. Gorvad previously last raced at the 8 Hours of Korea before having to go on a military service. I believe he's back now and back for the foreseeable future. So that's great to see. As there's Smaggersgale in the ATR Falcons 490, McLaren 720S, sitting in the pit lane.
Moving to the race session.
Go then, so final preparations being made. You can see with some of these long corners, they can really, especially the carousel, is really going to be quite demanding of the tyres. So tyre wear could very much be a factor here at Road America. Be fascinating to see over the course of the next 6 hours who gets the upper hand, which way the race spirals out of control. No sign of any bad weather. It's bright and sunny here for the time being. But of course, everyone will start under code 80. Garrison Bintz, our overall pole sitter, right next to championship rivals.
Okay, nobody move. We're going to wait for a few minutes just to let that person that left rejoin. We'll give it maximum a minute or two.
It's Genevieve Reynard, who of course has not made it to the grid. Will be struggling to get that OSM car into OSR, sorry, Elite Endurance, back into working order. Frightening times for Genevieve. Absolutely crucial then. It won't be a standing start, it'll be a moving start, but they will try and release them as Jansen Bintz rolls back ever so slightly.
Reynard, stay. Do not leave the pit lane, please. Just stay at the end of the pit lane for now.
Okay. Like he's obeying. There you go, coming to a stop. So it'll be a pit lane start then for the number 19, Martin. Yeah, Jansen Bintz needs to make sure that Zoltan Toft does not get the drop on him here, because the number 22 have really got stolen a march on the 23 in the championship. Three retirements effectively. There. So they are restarting for Reynard Genevieve. John. It's probably John, isn't it? He sounds vaguely French. Or possibly Sicilian. Okay, John Lacey. Server will tick over and we will try and do the grid again.
Okay, so our factor won't let me restart the race. I think we actually have to start the race. So if a few people can just move forwards, hopefully that'll activate it.
Right. Okay then. Sounds all a bit makeshift. They're all going forward in code 80 then. In formation already, which is quite surprising. And Veach is waiting to be released at the very, very back. Weird, so the admins can't restart the race until the race gets going, I guess. Or are they just going to start as is and then just carry on for the next 6 hours or so? It's all a bit confusing.
Okay, I can't restart the race, so this is the formation lap. Single file pit limiter, please.
Yeah, that's totally not confusing at all as a spectator. But there we go, this is the real start then. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Vince gets himself into position, and that looks like Josh Hamilton weaving quite a lot in his into the points, number 45. Where the tension starts to build, we see Maurizio Ricciardi in the Bad Wolves Yukon car, whatever it's called. Very back of the LMP1 field. The Bad Wolves Yukon Racing. There we go. I did remember it was called Yukon something or other. It looks like the livery's been pasted on rather awkwardly. Looks a bit like a mix of the... Oh no, that's actually Montressa in the 360 behind. That's the livery that looks a bit like a car crash. Whereas Ricciardi, his car looks comparatively more polished actually. The sort of black and kind of those lovely gold highlights. It reminds me of the old Pimps Racing Hungary car from the first EERC season. But anyway, Bintz continues to lead the formation lap. Very crucial then, as we get to the final 30 seconds then. Needs to make sure Zoltan Toff. They might actually wait until Bintz is near the start-finish line to begin the race. Have to see. Dresser already trying to put a bit of a gap to Loic Moynier, but Moynier will close in, of course. There's Mia Rose. More natural gap between the GD3 and the back of the LMP2 field. But there you can see Tibble Kiss right behind Mario Valencia. So yeah, starting behind Privek Zolt, of course, the 88, we haven't talked about this much, coming back. They are sort of 6th or 7th, I think, in the championship. So it's not completely out of it that the reigning champion in GD3 could retake their title. They're ahead of the championship leaders at the present moment. Mario Valencia in a new livery at the 444 Pinavon car. Black and yellow instead of black and orange. If there's any Ryan Ruiz has got a big EERC logo on. No, that's a Marmite, is it? The Marmite car, okay.
Okay, prototypes, please line up double file.
I'm not quite sure what that was about. But anyway.
If the LMP2 leader can just give a 5 or so second gap to the back of LMP1, please.
Instead of saying Guillermo de Montressa, he just calls him the LMP2 leader. So, the driver of the 360 Motorsports. But anyway, Bintz and Toff go side by side.
Please line up double file.
Yeah, everyone getting into formation then. LMP2's in the background as well. So this is where the tension really builds now, because when they get through that last corner, they will be released. At some point. We don't know exactly when. Bintz will have the inside line, at least at the moment.
LMP1, prepare for green.
We go then. Few short moments to 6 hours
green.
of Road America are now underway.
LMP2, prepare for green.
And it is Bintz that makes the getaway from top, whilst
LMP2
Lewis
green.
and Hamilton battle behind. But the
GT3,
LMP2s are now
green.
released. So what sort of start does Montressa make from Moynier? Oh, it's a good start actually, but they've dropped
GT3.
Primavera. There we go. As they go towards the first corner, let's just look on board with this then. As Primavera has a little think going up the inside of Moynier. Oh, De Montressa goes as wide as you like there. But what's going on at the... there we go, Mia Rose leading into the first corner from Wesley Bukout. And oh, is that Valencia trying to go all the way down the outside of Privek Zolt, but not quite making it through. And, oh, he has actually. Oh, brilliant move by Mario Valencia. And Zolt back down to 4th, just ahead of the, Marashiro Arasaka. There's a yellow in sector 1 somewhere. Not sure what that's about, as we see Smagasgale right in the mix here. Fighting against, that looks like the 12th and 11th place cars just ahead of him. Carl Lewis and Joshua Hamilton, meanwhile, continue to squabble as they exit the carousel and go through the really fast backstretch. Look at the sparks flying at the bottom of these cars as Carl Lewis is going to try and go up the inside of Joshua Hamilton. Oh, not quite. So there we go. Maintain then as they go for the last couple of corners. Certainly LP2 where the action's at, as there's Perikian in the yellow submarine until points number 46. It looks like a bottling motorsport. Bint sets new best lap time as he pulls 1.7 ahead of Zoltan Toff. Joseph Toff from the Paul Street Boys trying to challenge for 9th position. Well, that's Skjorvad, of course, right in front of him. As, oh, here we go, David Martin up the inside. Oh, he's being overtaken, is it? Oh! That's Martin fighting with Norbert Major, of course. And he's gotten through, so good progress there from reading game number 13. The second of the 2 reading game cars. I believe the 72 is in the field somewhere as well. But here's Montressa continuing to lead LMP2 from Moynier. Joshua Hamilton is being overtaken by Ben Crooks right now. There we go, Ben Crooks. Oh, and Crooks almost had to go at Lewis as well. But there we go. Concas is actually joining this battle. So there's a good little fight in LMP1 behind the 2 leaders then. So let's see if we can keep our eyes on this for a while. Because Concas is going to fancy a go at Josh Hamilton pretty soon as well. If he can get close enough. Primavera has actually made a really bad start. He's dropped behind Mazumda. Oh, there we go. And there's Mazumda going side by side with... that is. It's not Primavera, is it? It's Bash, isn't it? Bash through into 14th place, sorry. Primavera continues to try and make up progress. So not a great start for our championship leader as he's stuck now behind Nick Conan. Likes of Montressa, Moynier, Chris Kianek, Perikian all sort of start to pull away in front of him. Meanwhile, Hamilton fancies revenge on Ben Crooks. He goes to the outside into turn 3 and just about has enough room to squeeze through, but Ben Crooks is still there on the inside as they go up past the bridge. And Hamilton has to go very, very wide indeed. And this could open the door for Concas to squeeze through if he gets half a chance. Right on board with Francisco Concas as Rose extends her lead over Bukout and sets the fastest lap in GD3. Through the carousel then. But a scary moment there for Ben Crooks. Just about holding on to position. There's Rick Zolt then, trying to hold off Mashiro Arasaka in the 86. And Arasaka has been showing a pretty nippy turn of speed throughout this season. Zolt is really having to go on a defensive now. There's a big train now behind Prabik Zolt. And so the 88 has missed a couple of races, but Bukout and Rose are starting to pull away now. Arasaka can find a way through then into third position as we ride on board with the 86 Irish driver. Tressa still being challenged by Moynier, the closest man off the lead in either of the three classes, really. Actually been a fairly calm start, all things considered. Vince sets another fastest, like 1:42.9 in LMP1. Hoffazo set the fastest first sector of the race, 37.9. Peter Schumann has dropped behind David Martin now. Martin up to 6th now in the LMP2 class for reading game. Rubik Salt starts to get it under control and pull away a bit from Arasaka. There's Martin. Oh, big crash for Nick Conan. So that's the 140 that was doing pretty well in NP2 into the barrier and out of the race. That could well be a full course yellow then. Nick Conan can't recover that car. He's gone off sort of at the carousel, hasn't he? Here we go. Looks like he's trying to get back onto the track, but the steering is horribly damaged. We only really saw the tail end of it, I'm afraid. Oh, he's tried. Someone else has gone off as well and is trying to reverse onto the track.
Okay, we come to code 80 in 10 seconds.
Probably quite sensible. Schumann gets a penalty.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Code 80.
Oh, and is that Primavera? It was almost side by side with Erkan for a 10th position. Under code 80, so I should really have gone and green. There's Tibor Kiss down in 6th position for the winners last time out and the championship leaders. So it's not a great start for the number 16 Team Imperium. They've not really made the progress they would have hoped. Wait then for this code 80 to end and for, I assume, for Nick Conan to get back to the pits. Is, but I believe it may have been Veach's who was the other one that went off there, and oh, yeah, the wheel missing, I think, at the front there. Nick Conan having a real wild ride trying to get back to the pits. Not only has he got steering damage, he's got a wheel missing, and can he get into the pits? Looks like he's going to be able to, so we could be ending the code 80 pretty soon then, unless there was the other car involved that's trying to get back to the pits as well.
We go back to green in 10 seconds.
There we go, so the race about to resume then.
5, 4, 3,
Jansen Bince took a pit stop
2,
during that. So
1, green flag.
There we go. So Toff takes the lead in LMP1. Looks like Crooks also decided to make a break for the pit lane as well. Otherwise, the order remaining roughly as it was. Primavera got ahead of Ercan though at the restart. It's a great start from Primavera as others are starting to dive for the pits ahead of him as well. Human to serve his penalty, of course. So Bince now re-emerged in third and is now trying to catch up to Newis through the traffic here. So this could either be an inspired call by Valet or it could hand the advantage to Mugen. Remains to be seen, I guess. Valet making good work so far. And those fresh tyres as Bince goes really wide. So they clearly haven't got quite up to temperature yet. Moynier continues to pressurize De Montressa for the lead of LMP2. Big gap behind then to Perikian in the 46. Which is nearly 5 seconds down on them. Ercan having a little fight with Guzowski. There we go, he's through. Just behind Primavera, and it looks like Thomas Vash joining the party as well. So another good move by Thomas Vash, the Formula Sim Racing RSR driver, to moat the Boyd Transport out of the top 10, which is a big shame for them, but I'm sure they will fight back. They always do. Primavera, meanwhile, starting to put pressure upon Norbert Major, I believe is driving the Team Imperium LMP2, if I'm not mistaken. Bince is right behind Newis now. As having to negotiate the duty-free field, and it looks like an Iris. That looked like Arasaka spun at the first corner.
Okay, code 80 in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Arasaka
1.
stationary.
Code 80, code 80.
Everyone doing very well to avoid him, but that's a big mistake then from Mashiro Arasaka. That drops him down to 11th in class, and yeah, that really is not going to help Iris out. The 87 really need their teammates to be challenging the 88, and it's given fourth to Mario Valencia and the Frinavond Marmite squad. Fournier, interestingly, within half a second then. So as Arasaka's got going again, I wonder if the code 80 will be coming in. Very much a heart and mouth moment. Ben Crooks was the other one to pit under code 80. Bit of traffic ahead of him in the form of the ATR, not the ADR Falcons, the Stan Gjorvad, of course. Christopher Kianik holding off Felix Neuberger. Put the code 80 up then. I'm not sure exactly what we're waiting for, since Arasaka's got going again. There may have been another incident then, or another car involved in the incident rather. Oh, interesting. Looks like Gjorvad and Toff are still fighting over 8th position despite the code 80 being enforced. By the way, I don't know if the stream is acting up at all for you guys or not, but I'm hoping it looks okay. I've had to really reduce the quality so
Please
I can...
stay in single file under the code 80.
Yeah, Gjorvad trying to go to the grass there. So yeah, he's having to reluctantly concede to Toff, who I believe was ahead going into this code 80 period. So Peter Schumann was the one who got the drive-through penalty for a jump start. That was the infraction for the 139. Also, a lap one incident involving 301 444 Mario Valencia and Team RS 86. 10-second stop and go penalty for Team RS 86 for causing a collision and forcing another car off track. And saying that the 86's dive bomb was ridiculous. So there we go. And I guess another ridiculous dive bomb didn't pay off for them. But yeah, there we go. Getting on code 80, all things considered. Seems inevitable that these incidents happen in the early laps when there's a lot of cars still running and the class is trying to lap one another. Moynier has unfortunately got a back mark in between himself and Dimon Tressa, so that's good news for the great news for Josh Hamilton guys for the pits, as does it looks like Arasaka.
Okay, we come back to green in 10 seconds.
So it was what we're waiting for Arasaka to go to the pit lane.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, green flag.
There we go, and Jorvad gets underway behind Toff then. As the LMP2s come through to lap them, LMP1s rather. And Jorvad go for a dive at the first corner. Oh, Joseph Toff just hangs it on around the outside in the Paul Street Boys car. So those two remain locked together in a tight, combative duel. Meanwhile, Montressa got the gap to just over a second over Moynier. All action, all go. As Chirinos drops down. Oh, there we go. And that looks like Thomas Vash has passed, I think, Pitt under the code 80. And it's come out behind Chirinos in the VMS Sun Edit car, of course. And now under a second then behind last leader. There we go, as they're trying to negotiate the Aston Martin, but that's not the easiest place to lap it, of course. Moynier will take advantage as they go around the reading game car. Oh, but he has to actually get off the throttle at the apex, which is very annoying. Josh Hamilton is still being serviced in the pit lane, I believe. That should drop down the order the way this has worked out. Down to 21st in that LMP1 as Moynier goes around the GD3 runners. There is Hamilton. Ben Crooks starting to catch Concas. Starting to catch, he's right behind him. In fact, as auto director cuts us away, which is slightly annoying. Oh, both of them just getting a little bit held up by Mia Rose there. They've cleared the GD3 field. Ricciardi is trying to involved in this as well. Mechanic Felix Neuberger battling with Perikian. Perikian on the left there, so that looks like the LMPs are going for the inside quite early. GD3s. Mechanic Reese starting to feel a lot of pressure from the bottling motorsport car behind, actually. Oh, Gjorvad goes wide in front of them. To let them through, and Chris Kianik doing very well not to hit the back of the number 46 into the point. 40, yeah, it is the 46, isn't it? Right on board then with the 21, second in the championship, fourth in the order of the race. As Ben Crook starts to catch Concas for fourth. Great view here, isn't he? Mechanic has a little wiggle. As really being slightly held up by the Corvette there. It's a matter of making sure you don't trip over these guys as you try and make your way through. Vince has started to catch Nuis as well while we've been watching all of this. Toff sets the new best lap time of LMP1. Oh, Vince really having to push to catch Carl Lewis in the Rookie Monster 73. But a brave strategy call really to pit under that first code 80 by Valet. Still right behind Oncas. And the Seawolf Net Race Motorsport driver make a move then into turn 3. Leaves the Sargento Cheese Bridge. Brooks gets into the system, but he's not quite close enough to really make any impression in the braking zone. We've certainly got fresh tyres than Concas ahead. Look at this. Jansen Bitts now right behind. Durkin and Major having a big fight just behind Primavera in 8th in class, sorry. Jansen Bintz then, can he make a move up to second position? Because that Rookie Monsters car will not make it too easy for him. And all the while, Toff is starting to pull away ever so slightly to the tune of 4 seconds now. Could be a very, very brutal blow to his hopes of winning the race and cutting that championship lead to the 22. Here we go. Bintz in the slipstream. Does he pull out? Yes, he does. Oh, but he isn't quite close enough, and off the track goes the 73 actually. Still very, very close as they go through turn 2. The Rookie Monsters car of Newis gets the slightly better getaway, but here Bintz might have another go as they approach turn 3. Goes for the inside, and he's through. There we go. Surely the 73 isn't going to be able to hang around on the outside, and Bintz up to second then. So crucial move for Valet to try and win this thing. Next target, Toff, 4 seconds up the road, but the 23 will have fresher tyres. So let's come back to that later on then. Yannick continuing to put pressure on Paricki and start to pull away a bit from Neuberger. Guzowski right behind Major as they try and lap the Team Imperium 16 Aston Martin. This from Guzowski. Right behind the Norbert Major place car. Major holds his line. Guzowski can't make too much of an impression. Brooks still stuck behind Concas as we see here. Right, on the lap times, of course, of Bintz, because that will be absolutely crucial for the overall win. Bintz has actually set the fastest final sector of the race, 29.089. So almost a whole tenth faster than a Toff. Be absolutely keen now to see whether he can start closing the gap to his title rival. As Ben Crooks continues to really struggle to make much impression actually. Concas has done a great job keeping him at bay. Guzowski fancies another go at Major, I think. Here we go. Oh, and he uses the traffic really well at the exit the carousel to get in front. That looks like the 88 just held him up there. So a good bit of opportunism from Mateusz Guzowski to get the Boyd Transport number 40 back up into 9th place then. Jorvad still down in 9th. This is really the closest battle on track, really. Kianik, Rookie, and Neuberger. But doesn't look too much like either of them, any of these three are going to make a move on one another. But this could well be the fight all race long for the podium between these three. 21 and 46 have both won before. 21's won several times and is the reigning champion, of course. The 46 has just won just the once for the first time at the Nordschleife of all places. despite retiring on the final lap, they were a lap ahead of the 21. So just about got away with that one in the 4 hours of the Nordschleife. To the end of the first half hour then. It's been interesting. Vince has set the purple first sector last at 143.4 to Toff's 144.9. So yeah, Bint's really starting to close in now. Brooks is now very, very close to the back of Concas as they make it through the traffic here. And pulls to the inside. Oh, but does he have enough speed to overcome Francesco Concas? Here he goes. He dives up the inside into turn 3. And he's got it. That's through into 4th position then for Ben Crooks for Seawolf Net Race Motorsport. And Concas will not be best pleased. He did well to hold on as long as he did. But now that's Josh Hamilton actually a lap down on them now in 7th. Just ahead of them. Kianik now right behind Hurricane, who makes a little mistake there into first corner. Still actually right behind Crooks, so I wonder if the traffic's starting to play a real role in these battles then. Oh, the GT3 runners, looks like the reading game car, the 27, trying to go to the inside then in the background. Oh, Guzowski is out. There's a disconnection for Boyd Transport, and that will be a bitter blow on what's been such a tough couple of weeks for them. Neuberger really closing on Kianik as well. So these three remain right together. More similar lap times. Bintz and Toff both set 144s this time. Bintz still 2 tenths faster though, so the gap 2.5 seconds. Neuberger on board as he chases Yannick and Perikian for that 3rd position. The following motorsport driver is bright green LMP2. Marinos is right behind Mazumda actually. Oh, this is looking a bit interesting. But there's LP1 going all over the road. Here we go. Mazumda in the number 13 reading game car. Really under pressure here. And he can't really put the car where he'd want because there's Bintz actually coming through the lap, these guys as well. Yeah, not ideal, but Chirinos has got, very nearly hits the back of Ryan Mazumda. Can Chirinos get a good run through the final corner here? He's in the slipstream, not quite close enough, I'm afraid. But there we go, 145. So both Toff and Bintz, both of them really held up by traffic on that lap. And Van der Smissen under pressure here for 10th then. From this looks like Reynard Jonvez. And Joe Gostisnitz, Reynard just hits the back of Justin Van der Smissen, and Van der Smissen really spins it. Oh dear, this is very exciting, isn't it? There we go. Reynard Jonvez is hit in the back by, that looks like the reading game number 27 that hit him. Smagger's girl is through. Reynard Jonvez as well, who was also caught up in the incident.
Caution, slow car, last corner.
There we go, so Jonvez, just having to get the steering under control to make it back to the pit lane. That was pretty catastrophic then for those runners at the back of GT3. I wonder if there might be a penalty later on there. Have to see. But,
okay, it's clear.
Okay, track clear then, so the race will continue. Neuberger will continue to chase after Kianik. Chris Canick looking a little bit vulnerable now. As here we go. Nothing to get in between Chirinos and Ryan Mazumda now. Pardon me. As they battle over 11th position in LMP2. Ryan set up the final corner in that VMS car. Yeah, looks like she's got the run. Does she tuck out to the inside at the last minute? Oh no, Mazumda defends actually, as it looks like the Aston Martin reading game number 27 is pitting for repairs as well. Oh, a little bit wide by Chirinos, so not quite able to finish the move. Neuberger now right behind the 21 of Kianik. Moinier is actually closed on the LMP2 leader through the traffic. So here we go. This could be crucial. But in the end, Moinier didn't quite have enough road there to catch the Orica 360, which is wildly swerving all over the road here. Look at that orange, white and black mess in front of us. 360 that looks a bit like a car crash while it's leading the race at the moment. Fortunately, Ulmer Racing saying, nice job, Gazowski, and that's such a shame that Matej Gazowski is out already, really, because it was turning into a promising run. Here we go, Moinier having another look then, down the straight. Oh, and does he dive up the inside and turn through? Oh, Lloyd got very, very close there. Moinier has really been on a roll this season, and the 77 have put in some very, very impressive performances, as they Lloyd Moinier did at Silverstone when he won for the LMP1 squad as well. Not many drivers can say they've won in multiple classes, apart from the Mugen drivers last season, of course. Vince now 1.5 behind Toff. Rose has pulled that fighting gap to Book out as all the Paul Street boys. GD3 has to get out of the way for the LMP2 leaders. Another fastest first sector of the race for Jensen Vince. As he's really been flying all season, Jensen Vince. As the Corvette now has to get out of the way of the LMP2s. Let Di Montresa get the gap back up to a second, but Moinier, if there's an opportunity, he will pounce. Di Montresa had to go really wide to avoid the McLaren there. But, Davis in the 787, I think, because there's Tibble Kiss, 5th in the Team Imperium Championship, leading number 16. Yellow in the 3rd sector. Not sure exactly what that's about. There goes Tistis in number 27. I believe this is after it's repaired itself. Bash fighting with Major. Here we go. Oh, Gazowski's got back into the race, which is good news for them. But at the very back of the field, though, Bash still on the inside of Norbert Major. Oh, but Major sweeps through around the outside. Good fight there between the Iris 66 and the Team Imperium number 15, of course. Oh, Canick still tailing Pericki, and they've started to drop Neuberger ever so slightly. Lumda finds himself continuing to hold off the attacks of Chirinos. BMS Sun at its car for 11th position. Chirinos has got a very good run here. Make of it. Will they go for the inside here? No, brakes very, very early into turn 3. Little mistake from Ryan Mazumda, as we come to expect. big errors, not big enough to really let him through. As Vash still fighting with Major as well up front. '28 continuing keep the Guy de Montressa and the Orca 360 Motorsports in sight. Oh, that looked a little tricky, trying to lap the Reading Game Aston Martin, and that could give an opportunity for Thomas Vash to get back up into 9th place past Norbert Major and the Team Imperium number 15. Warmer Racing says, my hope is now on car 93, which is also Boyd Transport, but here comes Vash up the inside into turn 1. No, not quite. Once again, denied by the top speed of that Team Imperium car. You're now just having to lap Mia Rose. It goes all to the inside. That's such a difficult spot because you always think they're going to bump into each other and they just leave about enough space, don't they? Here we go, Vash might fancy go into turn 3, and what can Norbert Major do here to keep the Iris at bay? Oh, he just has to hold his line, I guess. And Vash is held up, and oh, Gazowski's spun! Oh dear, what a horrible race this is turning into for Boyd Transport, but thankfully he gets going again without making contact. Frightening moment there then for Boyd Transport number 40. The 93, by the way. Let's just see where they are in the order. Ah, that's Hallam Voice, of course. He's just behind Gjorvad and Toff. Just holding off Van der Smissen.
Okay, code 80 in 10 seconds.
Oh, there we go. Not sure what that's about then.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Code 80.
There we go. So, looks like several cars pitting under the code 80 then, including Neuberger and Kianik. Karikian crucially missing the chance to pit there. And Toff pitting right before Bintz catches him. So that's actually level playing field then. But Bintz pitting again. So Toff has basically snatched the de facto lead of the race then. I'm using a Latin word, de facto. Right? But there we go. There is Van der Smissen right behind the number 93. Not Royal Blue Racing, that's Boyd Transport. So Van der Smissen being denied that top 10 position, but the 71 will fight back later on. You can guarantee it. Put the code 80 on, shall we? Because I always keep forgetting to do that. Anyway, this has very much changed the complexion of the race. There is Bintz. He actually fuels slightly less than Toff and gets out ahead. Looks like Primavera in between them in the LMP2. Neuberger has gained a little bit on Kianik in the pits there. Erkan is right behind David Martin, so there's a little battle here between who will get out first. As looks like Newis and Crooks have also come into pit. Mario Valencia is pit as well. Not many GD3s have pit as well, so Erkan does get out ahead of Martin then. Quite a margin too. A close battle for the lead then, overall, in both the prototype classes. It's really Rose making it look very easy in the GD3, but it is, of course, anything but. All LMP2s coming down pit road now. Bash coming in. Coming out, rather. Just ahead of Martin. Van der Smissen. They've come out right by the LMP1s, so this is not ideal for the GD3s. Van der Smissen is going to lose a little bit of time here, potentially, because he needs to make sure he doesn't overtake the LMP1s under code, effectively full course yellow, the code 80. Stick to 80 miles per hour in first gear, remember? While we're waiting, decision number 3 has been made. Lap 12 incident involving Reading Game Studios 27, United Racing Team 71 and OSR number 19. No further action. The 71 wasn't involved in any contact. It seems as though OSR Elite Endurance Team number 19 just lost it and unfortunately collected the Reading Game Studios 27 on the way
in
around.
10 seconds.
So there we go, racing incident then. So the 27 losing big time there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green flag.
Here we go, we're back underway then. Once again, more code 80s. We've been getting used to these races with no code 80s. But, oh, there's a yellow in sector 3 already. I wonder what that's all about. But, oh, Van der Smissen has a little look at the number 93. But Van der Smissen is denied. And Hallam Voice holds on as Ryan Mazumda continues to be serviced. Hamilton is trying to make his way back through the pack because, oh, Van der Smissen has another go. But Kianik is really fighting. Neuberg, and in the wall goes Christopher Kianik in the 21. That's big news. Bad news for the second place in the championship. So Kianik clearly had some kind of contact while chasing Neuberger. And it's gone very chaotic now indeed. As Montressa has been passed by Moynier for the lead in LMP2 as well. But that's terrible then, as Kianik continues to be stuck in the gravel, I think. Nope, he's escaped. There we go. So now where are we looking? David Martin battling with Hamilton. Montressa trying to get back on terms with Moynier. So I think there must have been some kind of mistake there that let Loic Moynier through. Bintz has actually got ahead of Toff as well. And Joe Gossistis is missing a wheel in the 27. So another collision for Reading Game Studios. That's terrible luck for the 27. After they had such good luck in the last round as well. Vash overtakes Martin meanwhile. Hope everyone can avoid the 27. Montressa right behind Moynier and putting pressure on Orica. The 360 Motorsports team really want that lead back in LMP2. 10-second gap to Perikian behind, but if these two fight each other, that could dwindle.
If the Reading Game car can't get going again, please escape.
That's terrible. So there we go. I think Gossistis is out then. So yeah, Reading Game 27 are out of it. But here comes Montressa a little bit far back to make a move. 4 tenths almost. Here we go. I don't think 360 have got quite enough in the top speed department to quite pull that off from that far back. And indeed they don't. But here comes some traffic then. Could that create another opportunity for them to retake the lead here with a slightly mismatched Minecraft kind of livery they've got on there? Oh, Kianik has been overtaken by Josh Hamilton as he keeps making progress up the order. Perikian is pitting. Would have lost out there because into the points have had to hit once the safety car has already gone in. The full car's yellow's gone in, sorry. Montressa really putting the boat out here. I think that must have been a big collision there that really benefited the 23, hurt the 22, and seen that multiple things happened at once on that restart. You always knew it was a bad sign when LMP1's coming out right side by side with GD3s. Right, between Kianik, Perikian, and it looks like Vash as well. Here we go. Will Montressa find a way through? Oh my goodness me! He's having to go through all the way around the outside. And they hit each other side on. And Montressa is almost sent into the gravel there. That was very, very aggressive by the number 60, 360. And it didn't work out, so I imagine Loic Moynier will not be too impressed. But he holds on to the lead for now. In 7th position, keeping Thomas Vash at bay. Moynier pits from the lead now. Oh, no wonder. Could there be damage, or was that just simply for fuel? So yeah, sort of like Perikian, he's kind of lost out here. Montressa retakes the lead then. Looks like Ricciardi is behind Hamilton and trying to make progress up the order. So this is a fight for position then between these two. But look at where Moynier comes out as well. Primavera's gone through now too. For third, Primavera comes from nowhere in the valley to get back up to third in class. The 33 and the 77 and the 21 all having a big fight, and the 21 really losing out on that trip to the gravel. Hardy's starting to fall behind Hamilton somewhat. Birkman comes out right behind Moynier actually. Hamilton, the much more powerful car, LMP1 right behind him. So Hamilton should breeze through back into 10th overall. Martin only about half a second or so behind Thomas Vash. Vash, who I actually commentated on finishing fourth in the Pro Series at Spa-Francorchamps in Formula Sim Racing. Nick Homewood comes with another decision. Lap 21 incident involving Mugen 22 and Valet 33, so the two title rivals. First, a 10-second stop and go for Valet number 33 for causing a collision and forcing another car off track. So the Valet 33 was judged a bit felt, and that's a big blow for Primavera. Daniela Primavera will be in quite soon as Dimon Tressa comes in. That's going to hand Neuberger the lead, at least temporarily. Primavera up to second. But Primavera will have to serve that stop and go. 10-second stop and go penalty. That could be a real blow this early in the race. But we have seen the 33 recover from these kind of setbacks before. Certainly going to mean as Dumont Tress actually comes out ahead then of Loic Moynier, who's just behind Josh Hamilton there, I think. So Hamilton will come through up the inside of turn 3, and will this create an opportunity for Moynier, who almost goes on the grass there. These two, no love lost after earlier, is there? Dumont Tressa almost pushing Moynier onto the grass there, or going onto the grass to try and get by, and being ultra aggressive on the outside. And all Dumont Tressa on the cold tyres just lights the rears up a little bit through turn 3. Through turn 4 they go. Like Dumont Tressa will hold the position for the time being, but there's another LMP1 coming through to overtake us. There was someone in the gravel in the background there. Let's see who. Thought about the GD3 battle. Zolt not too far behind Bukow. They are about 5 seconds then behind leader, of course, Mia Rhodes. Meanwhile, Binks has now pulled an impressive 15-second gap to Zoltan Toff over the last few laps. Big blow for Mugen. They would have hoped on the equivalent tyres they would have stood a better chance, but I guess all that extra fuel on is all the VMS of Chirinos is going for the pits then. It's not the VMS as Moynier is going to lose track position to the LMP1, which is really going to help. Oh no! He refuses to yield, and they're all getting held up there. But Moynier has to let Riccardi through in the LMP1, and Riccardi spins, hits the inside of Dumont Tressa. Dumont Tressa almost didn't see him there, and that could be controversial. More pain for Riccardi, who's behind Hamilton, of course. Both of them a lap down on the leaders. Rivera still yet to serve that penalty behind Neuberger. We did see Neuberger lead in Road Atlanta as well, a couple of races that the number 28 Bottling Motorsport car have led. But I believe only, I'm not sure if they've had that many podiums though. So a little bit further behind in the championship. Rookie now starting to catch David Martin for 8th position. Rookie really lost out in terms of the Code 80s. Variable these pits in, so this could be the battle for 7th before long. What the number 13 does to defend here. Here's LMP2 where all the battles are. One has sort of faded out a little bit. It's sort of gone in favour of Bintz now. The first hour certainly has seen... Oh! We saw something else there. As on the back markers and GD3 gets out of the way and Martin goes very wide onto the grass, and that could be the opportunity that Oliver Perikian needs to get through. Can he get the extra run down the main start-finish straight? He's certainly in the slipstream, but a little bit too far back to really take advantage of it fully. Set up a move into turn 3, I think. Bides his time in the Yellow Submarine for now. And into the points. Start recovering ground here. Freaking not quite able to get close enough, so Martin defending very well in the number 13 reading game LMP2. Rivera has been slowly closing on Neuberger, but yet to serve that stop and go, I notice. You see yellow in the second sector very briefly. Riccardi having a bit of trouble there. It's all quite slow, and it looks like it might be steering damage as well, because the reading game is coming out right behind him. Oh, it doesn't look too bad actually. Looks like he might have just been held up very slightly by Vash. Perikian versus Martin is really the closest battle on track at the moment. And it could get even closer if all this traffic plays a role. Oh, Perikian having to get on the grass there with the Aston in front of him. Fans of the 93. They're still holding off the Evo United Ferrari 488 GD3 of Justin Van der Smissen by just under a second. Behind Mario Valencia, of course. Or 21 seconds behind Mario Valencia. So, as Nick Conan continues to recover through the GD3 field. That is, of course, the battle for 9th, where Voice is holding on to. Comcast pits from 5th. Going to put him a lap down, I'd imagine. Hamilton closing on Primavera, and this should be a fairly easy move, given the difference in cars. Archer's actually started to pull away a bit from Perikian, of course. Hamilton will surely make light work of the Bottling Motorsport, of course, the class leader. Into the pits comes Primavera to serve that stop and go penalty then. So where is this going to drop the championship leaders? Did get another decision from the stewards, by the way, involving Reading Game Studios number 27 and Alliance Motorsport 887. 1 minute stop and go penalty plus black and white driving warning flags. So apparently Alliance Motorsport 887 did exactly what I said not to do in the briefing, resulting in Reading Game Studios 27 being out of the race. If that happens again, you'll be black flagged. This is instruction given by Nick Homewood. So he's not impressed with the driving of Alliance 887. But look where Alliance 887 are as Primavera exits the pits, all just behind Oliver Perikian. So that battle's going to continue, I guess. Yeah, big shame for reading game number 27. The 887 is
Okay, code 80 in 10 seconds.
Oh, something's happened.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Code 80.
Here we go, and Justin Van der Smissen caught right up again to the back of Hallam Voice.
What have I missed?
I don't know, there's been a code 80 for something, Josh. Hello. Joshua Birch just joins us now in the broadcast. Right as we go to code 80.
I always choose my moments. Hello, everybody. Hello,
Yeah.
Red.
Yeah, I've not had a
yeah.
chance to watch the Formula E qualifying yet, but I heard a little bit of shouting from Jack Pickering getting very excited. He's not in New York, sadly.
Oh,
But,
isn't it? Oh, that's a shame.
well, no, because the visa situation.
Oh, yes.
It was a bit difficult to get there last year as well, as I understand. But
Yeah, not even Jack Nichols and Nick Shields couldn't make it. They were commentating from a bunker
Yeah,
in
exactly.
London. But
Yes.
yeah, I'm here. Hello.
well, the good news is Mia Rose is leading in GD3. The bad news
yes.
is she's the only one who's not been able to pit under this code 80. So Zolt, Bukout, Kiss, David, and Kiss have all come in.
Oh, no.
Crooks also comes in with Hamilton in LMP1. Josh out there into the points of setup in LMP1 squad, Josh.
Oh!
So that's what the 45 is. Unfortunately, they're, I think, about a lap down.
Yeah.
But there's a good little fight with the sort of tail enders. I have to say, I've always a big fan of the Boyd Transport team, and they've been going for a really tough time recently because Roy Ton, who was the team principal, unfortunately had his father pass away a week before the race.
Oh, no.
So they've had the number 40, which has had a really terrible start to the race. They're still in it somehow. I think they got disconnected or something. But the 93 has been holding off the number 71 Evo Racing United Racing team for pretty much the whole race. And it's been, as you see on screen, this close pretty much throughout.
Throughout the entire race, yeah, I can see it just about on the screen.
Yes.
I apologise for the voice. It's getting better.
That's
First
all right.
gear under code 80 or you'll get a penalty.
Well, there we go. Nick Howard having to tell off someone for trying to do code 80 in 6th or 5th gear to save fuel. Montressa has been
And
having
back to green in 10 seconds.
Here we go. So there's big news in the championship, by the way, as we go back to green.
Oh, yes.
It's that the
5,
33, just
4,
before this code 80.
3, 2, 1. Green flag.
So just before this code 80, the 33 knocked off the number 21 that was second in the championship and got a 10-second stop-and-go penalty.
Oh!
So the 21 continued, thankfully, as we see all of the GD3 field, apart from Mia Rose in the pit lane, it would seem. All the top 7, or 6 of them.
5 hours to go then.
So that's the first
no,
hour done of the 6 hours. And Montressa, who got on pole position, had a very, very close fight with Loic Moynier, who's, I believe, only about a second behind him, so that could continue. But they were both going on the grass, going hell for leather. It was very, very fun to watch. LMP1 has been a little bit quiet because basically it looked quite interesting because Bintz hit under the first code 80 and then Toth hit under a later code 80 with Bintz again. But
Right.
because the 23 didn't have to put on as much fuel, they were able to jump. I think they were quite close behind, and then they were able to really just pull advantage, and they got the gap up to. But it was 15 seconds. It's gone back down to I think 10 seconds now.
Looks
Is it-
okay.
yeah, we
Ryan's here as well. I don't know if he. If
It looks
he's
like Van
convinced.
der Smissen might have actually jumped. I'll see if Ryan can talk in a moment, but it looks like Van der Smissen has jumped Voice here. I think in the order, if I'm reading correctly. Yes, he has. So that's the first time I've. So the fans of Boyd Transport and the number 93 will be disappointed by that. But the race continues. And yeah, certainly Rose with a bigger lead than before, but not as much fuel as those behind her. So the 485 could, unless there's another code 80 soon, could really lose out here. Looks like she was doing too well, bizarrely, being like almost 10 seconds up the road. I think she had a big gap on Bukout, as we see yellow in the final sector for something or other. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking over you, Josh. I feel like you wanted to get a word in edgeways.
No, it's- hello, Ryan. Can you hear us?
Hello.
There we go.
Hey, you all
Yay.
Yeah, living the dream as always.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Caution, slow car last corner.
Well, with that, I'm not sure who that is. I don't see anyone going particularly slow at the last
Clear.
corner.
It's clear now.
Well, whatever it is, it's gone away now. But we're watching Perikian, who is just. We saw Primavera have to service stop and go come out just behind Joshua Hamilton. Primavera in the 46, sort of sister car, I guess, has been Perikian, sorry, has been fighting with I think it's David Martin, yes, in the number 13. For some reason, Reading Game entered number 13 instead of the 72, I think, for this race.
Yeah,
And they did have the 27. The 27, unfortunately, just been taken out by the 887, which caused the last Code 80, I think, where they lost a wheel, and Nick Howard was not very impressed in race direction. So he sort of put the 887 on notice for that. As, Moynier takes the LMP2 lead from Di Montresa. There we go. Just before they got to the carousel then. It's a good move from Moynier, who's gotten revenge then on the 360 Motorsports. The livery, which I've heard described as a car crash.
A car crash.
That 360, you see the sort of, looks like a cow with a bit of orange on it.
Oh, that is what we were told about this morning. Yes, I can see they're coming in with the car.
Yeah, and there we go. Mia Rose pits in the 485 from the lead, but Di Montresa coming back at Loic Moynier, but not got enough road there at the end of the long straight there into whatever that corner's called.
Canada corner.
Canada corner. It was a country. I was trying to remember which one, but of course it's Canada.
Coincidentally, that's where IndyCar are this weekend.
Whoa,
that's
really
close.
close to the back, and it's not going to help him on his run on the straight either. As Oliver Perikian passes Josh Hamilton. There we go. So Hamilton, I think, having some kind of issue there because he's an LMP1 and he's having to let the sister into the points LMP2 through there. So he might have been the slow car that we were being warned about earlier. Di Montresa now trying to come back at Moynier again. Let's see if he can set up into turn 3 here. Through turn 2 they run. And this is, of course, where we saw in the touring car is Tom Dillon hitting the advertising hoarding after...
And sorry, just to update, if anybody was also watching alongside us, I know many people do, watching the IndyCar practice, it has been delayed, presumably.
Is that why you're here, Josh?
No, I've just finished Formula E. I'm doing the qualifying session later on. I think 7 o'clock, 7 to 8. So that's why I'm not actually here for the last hour, annoyingly. But
was qualifying not happened yet? Or was that FP2?
That's IndyCar in Toronto. They're in Canada. Formula E are in New York, as you know.
Okay.
But for those of you who don't following FP2 for IndyCar, that's been delayed because the track's coming up. It's too hot over there, so it's actually breaking up.
It seems like it's almost like a global issue, this whole climate change thing. But anyway, because we've been warned about a heat wave, haven't we? That's why it's like...
it's supposed to be 37 degrees down here in sunny Swindon, straight Port and Bassett.
Yeah, same here, 37 degree.
Well, I finally got my haircut out of the way, which was crucial for getting that in before the race, because I wanted to get a haircut before the London E-Prix, which I'll be going to in person.
Yeah, the London E-Prix, by the way, which some bright spark has decided to put on at 3 o'clock on the Sunday race, and I believe on the Saturday race, direct clashing with Formula One. Now, whose idea was that? What?
Well, it always seems to happen in the middle, at the end of July, doesn't it? Because before, I think it used to be Austrian Grand Prix, and then before that it was Goodwood Festival Speed that clashed with it. So, Formula is sort of between a rock and a hard place, as the Di Montresa gets very close to the back of Moynier and has to sort of get out of it into turn 1. We've seen that a couple. Oh, gone.
If I was Formula E, I would put it on at 4:30. That's right at the end of the F1, and then you get a good time because.
Well, the other thing, of course, is that there's
hammered.
train companies have scheduled to strike for the Saturday race. That's going to be difficult for people coming in from, like, say, the north into London. Yeah.
I'll tell you this right now: if Formula E does end up going head-to-head with Formula One, the last hour of the Hungarian Grand Prix alongside that, Formula E are not going to stand a chance. Whoa!
Yeah, Ricciardi has to go very wide, and Joshua Hamilton gets through past him as they overtake Christopher Kianik for position, of course. Kianik, who got punted into the gravel by the 33 earlier, and is now running ahead due to the 33 having served its penalty. But a good bit of opportunism there from Josh Hamilton, but Kianik refuses to yield despite being in the slower LMP2, and that's creating quite a logjam. And the race leader, Jansen Bintz, is catching up to these three as well. Doesn't that look like Ricciardi? His name is very similar to Ricardo, of course, especially in how it's spelled. As Joshua Hamilton once again gets the top speed advantage over that LMP2, Kianik really feels like he's really putting up a fight with these LMP1s, because remember that he is fighting for the championship lead in LMP2.
Yes.
As we see, Bintz has got through past Ricciardi, and surely Kianik is going to have to concede now as he goes really wide through Canada corner. Di Montresa, by the way, still fighting Loic Moynier for the lead in LMP2. They both cut to the inside past the one of the GD3 back markers. Oh, he's right behind him now. He's going to have to pull to the outside here, but it's a long way around. Surely Dimontressa can't make this work.
No, I don't think so. It's quite tight. It's
Oh,
on the
he
back
makes
wheels.
contact with Moynier. Oh, it just before Canada corner, Dimontressa was going all over the grass trying to pass, and I wonder if we're going to see more desperate tactics from the 360 to try and get the LMP2 lead back from Iris.
I wouldn't be surprised, really. Would you, Ryan, to be fair?
Well, this isn't the lead, of course.
It's not the lead.
Neuberger is about
Oh, yeah.
25 seconds up ahead because he hasn't pit, of course. But Neuberger actually having a pretty good race, staying out of trouble, and could really be a factor in the closing stages. As the GD3 once again holds up like Moynier, and this could allow Dimontressa to cut to the inside as they approach the bridge. But Loic Moynier sees it coming from several yards off, and the 360 with its weird asymmetrical hobbled together livery is denied.
Is it? Could we call it the Dutch cow livery? Maybe. I don't know.
Possibly, yes. But
Dutch
the
cow
twitch on the exit there. The Frenavond have sort of got the Dutch black and orange kind of livery down to a T, really. As Perikian, I believe, has passed Primavera, or is he held off from Primavera? Because I think Primavera's caught back up to him. As Dimontressa, once again, let's keep our eyes on this battle because it's really for the lead then in the class. And Dimontressa, it looks a little bit like the pole sitter has started to get a bit desperate once, because with the Code 80s he's sort of found Moynier has been able to jump him, and I feel like Dimontressa's not dealt with it as well as the 77 has. A bit more experience leading these kinds of races. Was 360. We saw them lead very briefly in the hands of Luca Correa in Interlagos, but other than that, we've not really seen them just in LMP2. That was the LMP1 as well, in Interlagos they were leading. But here we go, Dimontressa gets the run. This time he's got a little look at the inside, but Moynier once again does not leave the opportunity for him to take advantage of. Meanwhile, Primavera fancies a run just a bit further down the road on the yellow submarine livery number 46 of Oliver Perikian. How late does he break here in the 33, which needs to make progress? And here he goes! And Perikian has to go off track, and that's the 33 through back into the top 7 then.
That was quite an alarming couple of corners. It's a very tricky part of the track, the first three sectors, the first three corners here, I mean to say. But that was quite a good one. Samunia moves up to P2.
Yeah,
Jim
I think
Leonardo stays on
Perikian,
third.
the yellow submarine, had to go up periscope for a second there to make that first corner. But, here we go. It looks like they're lapping the number... Is that one of the reading game cars trying to make way for the leaders? Goes well off track there to let Moynier and Dimontressa through. And the more they fight, the more this plays into Neuberger's hands, of course, in that Bolding Motorsport 28. Yet to take its first win, but we've said this many times in these endurance races, that 28's been leading in the early phases, and then something's happened that's made them fade away later on. And Primavera and Perikian are still fighting behind, actually, and Primavera's just got back through. Oh, they're side by side! And Perikian holds the inside, and the yellow submarine has somehow steered its way back through into 7th position. But Dimontressa, meanwhile, having a go at Moynier. So LMP2, that's where the action is. Let's keep our eyes on this then. And Dimontressa, desperate to retake the lead. He's got, I was going to say a good run, but he let the rear slide out there, and it's getting away from him once again. Meanwhile, GD3, Tibor Kiss is right behind Mario Valencia. Is he? Or is he actually ahead now? Oh no, not quite. Valencia's still there on the outside as they go approach turn 3, and the championship leader in GD3 is just denied by the Marmite liveried Frenavond car.
And that's Neuberger coming through there as well, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. And Dimontressa has to back off then to let that looks like Josh Hamilton through in the LMP1 that's still recovering ground. In the
Hamilton 2 laps down the course in 5th, as you said, Ed, earlier on.
Yes, Mia Rose, we didn't talk about, re-emerged from her pit stop down in 7th, so that's how much missing those Code 80s cost her. But she's not far behind Davis now, so once these LMP2s and LMP1s are through, I think Mia Rose might be challenging to get back up the order then. So we had all that good luck with the red flag in Road Atlanta, which really played to Mia Rose's advantage, but it's deserted her here, as here we go. The lead battle on LMP2 goes all the way around the outside of her, and Mia Rose will have to just give enough space then. I keep calling it the lead battle, don't I? I should call it the second place battle. but they have been leading the race for quite a long time, in my defense. As Perikian and Primavera, these two can't stay away from each other, can they? Once again, are they going to go side by side through the carousel? Or Primavera tucks up the inside? Or Perikian set him up around the outside, and they make contact at the side, and it's happening again.
It really is. Some dramatic battles here that we're loving to see as well. Now get a good exit here, slipstream down towards the Canada sections as well. It's a bit single file through here, isn't it, Ryan? You can't really go for a move.
Yeah, and for a moment watching these two, I thought I was watching the British Touring Car Championship, not the Endurance Championship, as he goes for a move into Canada, but I don't think anything happened there. And that's the trouble with this circuit in an LMP2 car. It's not so bad in a GT car, but you'll find in the LMP2 cars, the braking zones that are generally quite heavy are actually quite shallow, and so you've really got to be damn dare on the brakes and make an opportunistic move if you're trying to make something stick around this circuit.
We also see a battle for the lead in GD3. Prevec Zolt was caught up to Bukout in the 87, which remember is second in the championship. The 88 has just come back from this round. They're only about 6th or 7th in the championship, and now they're just half a second behind the leaders. So it's very important for Zolt to pass Bukout before Mia Rose starts catching up to them, even though she is quite a way down. Dimontresa, still tucked right behind the purple rear wing of that Iris in the battle for second place. And this is going to be very, very thrilling, I feel, throughout this stint, watching these two squabble as once again another LMP1 car. That looks like the Rookie Monsters car coming through the lap them both. Or is it? No, it's the second place top, of course, in the Mugen. Top locks up, wow! And just about avoids crashing into the back of the second place man. Two second place in the prototype classes nearly colliding there.
I'll be back shortly. Just need to run inside to update Dad about this F2, sorry, the IndyCar FP2 session. Otherwise, we might lose the recording. Back in a second.
Indeed. So there we go. While Josh tends to that, we will... Dimontresa, just unsighted, almost bumped again into the... It's so easy when you're an LMP1 car to trip over these LMP2s. Not just the guys up front, but also people like Josh Hamilton, who are 2 laps down, having to fight a lot of the LMP2s for position, really.
Yes, certainly. To be honest, it doesn't look to be too much of a speed difference, it seems, because we basically went the whole of the length of the carousel all the way into Canada, and the LMP1 there only really made up one position out of all that.
Here we go. Once again, Dimontresa having a go around the outside, but he's got lap traffic on the outside. That's not ideal. Nevertheless, he gets a wheel alongside, but the Team Imperium, Aston Martin, is right in the way, right where Dimontresa didn't want it.
Yeah, and round again, but it seems that Monier's definitely having to go a lot more defensive, which is allowing Dimontresa to take some more different lines as we see the battle for the lead in GT3.
Yeah, Bukout also going very defensive, isn't he? Because Zolt looks really fast at this phase of the race. Let's have a look at the lap times between the two. 203.4. He's actually doing similar lap times. He's been stuck behind for a couple of laps, of course. So both in the 203.4 bracket. Mia Rose set a 202.8 on that last lap, which shows how much she's flying at the moment after her stop. She has got by Chris Davis in the 787. It is now catching Voice in the 93, of course, the Boyd Transport driver we talked about earlier. I believe is also yet to stop in this race, and it's right behind now. In fact, gets through. There we go at turn 3, and almost Mia Rose was on the inside there, so really lost control. But Zolt continuing then to put pressure upon Wesley Bukout for the lead of the GD3 class as Moynier continues to hold off Dimontresa. I don't really know where to look, Ryan, at this pace.
No, and I don't know what happened between Voice and Rose there, because it looked like they were going quite slow. As they go take the position.
Looks like Voice went wide, and Mia Rose gets through just before the carousel then. So Mia Rose continues her metronomic progress up the order then. Next target, Mario Valencia, but quite a gap to Valencia, of course, as Dimontresa now once again gets into the slipstream with Loic Moynier. And what a job Moynier has done to keep Dimontresa behind, but surely Dimontresa, if he can just get the overlap as they go past Justin van der Smissen down the straight, and he goes to the inside, but once again, Loic Moynier had it covered, had it under control, as sparks fly out the rear as they go as wide as you like through turn 1.
Indeed. Now, Dimontresa is going to have to get a good exit out of here and down into the corner that they're at now, which we see Zolt's still harassing Bukout for that first position.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see Montressa. It's still a little bit too far back. You can tell he doesn't have quite the confidence in the braking zone that the 77 Iris in the hands of Moynier does at this stage. Looks like Mazunda is in some... he's been overtaken by an LP1 of Concast for position, of course.
Yeah.
These two continuing to squabble away. There's just nothing to really separate them as Hallam Voice finally comes in for a pit stop as Montressa lets the rear slide out there into turn 9, I think that was. But you can tell Montressa starting to lose his composure ever so slightly. He's getting really frustrated behind that Iris.
And he's obviously the faster of the two, and
He was the pole setter, of course.
And you can see that he's experimenting with different lines to try and find just a little bit of a tenth here and there to get himself past Monnier.
Yeah, we're seeing the two battles converge then, aren't we? As Montressa gets very, very close now to the back of the Iris. This could be his best opportunity then. Let's go on board. Let's see what he does. As there's the GD3 for right in the way of Moynier. Can Montressa speed through and get the run he needs? But Moynier's already on the inside, so he's going to have to tuck out quite late, isn't he?
Yeah, and they're going to have to pass the lead battle for GT3.
Oh, he's going to have to thread the needle. Oh, that's brave by Montressa, but he's still caught in a second.
Oh!
They collide. Oh my goodness, that's messy. Moynier just misjudged it there, and that's Montressa through into second position.
Yeah, but I can't help but think maybe both cars might have a little bit of damage from that collision there.
Or possibly there could be a penalty there if they're deemed at fault, but Zolt's still stuck behind Brukout, crucially, in that lead battle in GD3, and Moynier, the steering does not look quite as healthy. It looks like he's a little bit, not to a 45-degree angle or anything, more like a 5-degree angle, so that's manageable, but yeah, there we go. And Chris Davis is something happened to the 787 there, but there's Zolt, who is still right behind Brukout, as we mentioned earlier. Moynier is really going to have to fight to get back in front of Guichety Montressa for that second position. They've lost 2 seconds, crucially, to Neuberger with that collision. So once again, this plays into the hands of Bodling Motorsport.
I was watching Rose's time. It's coming down. The gap was 50 seconds.
Yeah, she's been lapping like 2 seconds faster than the leaders. It's been very, very impressive. And Mario Valencia is surely going to have a problem in his rearview mirrors very soon in the form of that bright green Hunter Burt simulation car. Of course, it's really only there because she's out of sequence on the pit stops, and that could, in the long run, actually play to her advantage. Oh, this is a bit busy, isn't it? My goodness, that LMP1 was in a hurry to get through, wasn't it?
Yeah,
luckily,
Zoltz has put a wheel on the grass, which has put him wide into Canada
did
corner.
very well not to hit the back of Bukout there, and now that's let the LMP2s through as well. As look, that's the 21 overcoming them as well. That's Thomas Vash actually right behind Kianik, and having to go around the outside there of the into the pits goes. That looks like Neuberger's gone into the pits from the lead then. So Montressa is now half a second in front of Moynier for the lead. But it looked like Arda Erkan, I think, coming into the pits. There we go.
Good sessions into the pit lane.
Yes,
Tothin, Tothin and Neubauer in as well from 7th LMP2. So
yeah, that drops Zoltan Tov from second down to third. Puts Carl Lewis up to second, but now Binz has a 61-second lead, which is looking very healthy indeed, isn't it?
Indeed. With 4 hours, 30 minutes to go, very tasty lead to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, but we've seen them blow that before, didn't we? Last time at Road Atlanta with James Duper. So cruelly, just went off at the first corner, hit the wall, and that was all she wrote, wasn't it? And lucky to still get the points for third position, really, given it was so late in the race. But it handed what would have been otherwise an easy win. There were 3 laps in front, weren't they, of the 22.
Yeah. I've been watching, by the way, so I know basics of what's been happening. I had an idea on the YouTube stream as well when I was doing Formula E quali, but very interesting start to this race, and with 4 hours 38 to go precisely, there's a lot more twists and turns yet to happen. But for that to have, look at that, we've got the gap for Blitz and US as well, 62-second gap. That's a good pit stop advantage. They've lapped some of the field in LMP1. LMP2 close at the front finally, but pit stop out of sync still. I'm loving it. It's getting good.
Yeah, it looks like the Boyd Transport number 40 Gazowski is struggling to find anywhere to pit, really, because it looks like there's someone in front that won't give up the pit box.
Yeah, so he can't get in.
More horrible luck for the number 40 Boy Transport car, but at least they're still in the race, you know. There's newest now pits, so it really feels like it's pit stop time for the prototypes, isn't it?
Yeah, all of them coming in. So it's around about time.
Oh, Ricciardi right behind the number 33 of Primavera, which is, of course, the championship leader in LMP2, so lucky not to take them out in the pit lane. That could have been embarrassing. I've actually seen that done before. I remember Peter Vagapov once did that at FSR at Le Mans on the championship points leader in the Academy series, which was, of course, is it George Chatsapantelis? Yeah, it is Chatsapantelis, I think. Tipple Kiss is on his own, of course. That's our championship leader in GD3. As Zolt is now dropped to just a second behind Bukout, but that's still probably the closest battle on track, I think. Apart from, of course, all those pit lane squabbles we were just looking at.
Still a long way to go in this one. I'm actually looking forward to today and this weekend. It's going to be quite an interesting couple of races that we've got coming up. And 6 hours at Road America is always entertaining. It's got laps, traffic getting out of the way.
Well, I meant to mention something to you, Josh. With the Formula E race today, Tom offered to kindly fill in the 45 minutes plus 1 lap to the Formula E race last while commentating on this. So I wasn't sure if you were up for that, or because I was sort of thinking, is it okay for Tom to do that on his own, or sort of, I mean, I could probably come back. I wouldn't be too big of an imposition on Tom. I think he might let me get away with it. We'll see. How long till the race?
5 o'clock, so we've got 90 minutes until then.
Okay. How are you guys with the broadcast? Can you guys see okay? Because I just had the resolution change on me.
I can see
it's fine.
Yeah,
okay, good.
It's a lot sharper.
Right. I'm just worried about it lagging. That's all. Because I've had that issue before.
Race starts 6 o'clock, isn't it? UK time.
Oh, I might crash your dinner then. Oh, there's Jensen Vince pits for the lead.
It is all right. Megan is on call.
Okay, well, probably okay.
She is around.
I can always catch up afterwards.
Yeah, and if you
I'll be there
if you
tomorrow.
can't make it, and if you can't make it, she'll be there. The only problem is that Megan's going to have to lead the commentary for Formula E in London race 2. I'll miss that one because I'll be doing Formula 1. So,
well, hopefully I can shoot some stuff for your show on Sunday.
Oh, fab! Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe with my camera from the grandstand.
Get those sets up as well, and hopefully be quite fun.
Yeah, I could send you something from Marrakesh, a couple of interviews, but I doubt they'll be all that relevant because it was a couple of weeks ago. Everyone going really wide at turn 3. That's the toughest corner. We saw it in touring cars as well. They're always constantly going deeper on the brakes than their car is actually capable of somehow, which is even more improbable in these Le Mans prototype cars with such good brakes they have, as Perikian is now being serviced as well.
It is a very tough corner because it's downhill braking, and it's also quite bumpy, and so you want to be, if you stay more towards the centre, you want to try and stay to the outside of the corner to then get, kiss the apex on the inside, and so it's very, very easy just to grab that brake just even a metre too late, and you find yourself sailing off into the gravel trap. So it's probably one of the toughest corners on the circuit, but they're all very, very tough. They all look like it's I've got this all under control, and then realise that actually I'm carrying a bit too much momentum, and it punches you quite a bit on the circuit because there isn't much runoff in certain areas, and in some cases it is just gravel and grass, so it does punch you a bit, this circuit, when you get it wrong.
Yeah, it looks like Moynier has picked from second place, so he's going to try and undercut Di Montresa then to take the lead in LMP2. We just saw Perikian come out of the pits. He's come out behind Primavera, of course. Not by much actually, by only about 9/10 of a second. In fact, there they were very briefly on track. Yeah, you just see. Oh, there's the class leader just lapping Perikian.
Yep, and second place man, as you said, I think already in the pit lane.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I think Kianik might come through, but Neuberger should be quite close with Neuberger, I think. There he is, just trying to get through. Actually, he's being lapped by the 22, isn't he? Of Hives, who's just gotten on board. So there's been a driver change already, actually, as we see Simon Marshall trying to go around the outside. Is that of Perikian?
Well, there's less than a second between Kianik and Neuberger, isn't there, for second and third now?
Yeah, there we go. there is Christopher Kianik. So Neuberger has been sort of catching him in this stint. So yeah, it's all going his way. As we see Reynard John Vez
Oops.
in the number 19, who's not had the cleanest of races, now stationary at that looks like the exit of turn 3. So not sure what's happened there.
AT will surely be called.
It's dead.
It's dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
Ben Crooks goes a very lurid angle just approaching the carousel. So something, I think he might have been hit something on his way there. As the steering does not look healthy at all. This could be code 80 territory indeed.
I think actually no, it looked okay. I just think that might maybe like overheating or cold
Ben
tires.
Crooks, of course, is running second now because of that pit stop for the 22. But yeah, not looking like he's going to hold that for too much longer. Looks under control, so it could, like you say, just been cold tires.
I don't want cold tyres, not at Road America.
Oh, this looks very hectic, doesn't it? And Neuberger right in the middle. There's Mia Rose without a rear wing. So she's been hit somewhere, and the steering does not look healthy at all.
That's coming out of turn 1, so she's going to have to do a full lap with no rear wing and very bent steering by the looks
Yeah,
of
that
things.
could be a code 80. I'm surprised there hasn't been one already. I know Tom Dillon's supposed to be taking over from Nick Homewood around about this time. Dimon Tressa is coming to the pits as well.
So here we go. There should be two
And
code
there
80s.
goes Neuberger up the inside of Kianik into Canada corner. And he's through into second position. And could be the lead then, as Dimon Tressa
Attention all drivers, we come to code 80 in 10 seconds.
Well, that plays the advantage of Dimon Tressa then.
Love how Chris was in the commentary
5,
channel and when to do it.
4, 3, 2, 1, code 80, code 80.
There we
Chris
go.
heard what we were talking about and immediately went and put it
Well,
there.
they saw our car was missing a rear wing and crabbing. I think that was what caused it. But that's a big setback for Mira,
Yeah.
even bigger than missing out on the previous code 80s, ironically, I guess.
We can't win.
Well, I think just finishing would be nice for a change. There is Mia Rose. Struggling on. Eric Kamedi will be taking over, of course, later on. Josh Hamilton pits, as does Jones gets on board the 360, number 60. Kianik is being serviced as well. So this actually puts Jones still behind Neuberger, but a little bit closer than he would have been otherwise. And allows him to hold, Kianik pit anyway, so he'll stay ahead of him. But,
I'm trying to work out if this means that we are actually back on strategy. I don't think we are.
Well, I think losing the rear wing was not part of being back on strategy. And as soon as Miros gets to the pits, I presume we're going back to racing. So we'll have to see. But this will be the battle we're building. Sophie Jones, of course, as I said, getting on board the 360 car. Sophie Jones, who's impressed us so much in the past. Remember getting second place with Reading Game at Spa-Francorchamps in the 24-hour race there.
Okay. Sorry to cut across your head, but we're gonna. Chris is gonna try and fix the streaming PC, so we are apparently gonna go for a quick break.
Okay, we'll be back on the other side very shortly. Bye for now. I like how he told you and not me.
It's in the chat.
He put it in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm lucky it stopped lagging on me now, so I think I must have got the